for you tonight. Our first comment is Caroline Lovner. I met her and Casper, and we cannot wait to have you on. So everybody please welcome Caroline.
Yay!
Hello!
Hello!
Oh my gosh, that was so weak. I'm from Casper, Wyoming. I know how Wyoming people sound.
Yes.
Let's try that again. Hello, Douglas!
Hello!
That is much better. Now let's try to keep that energy up. If you feel like you're waning, we have servers. Just turn on the little green light. They help us get funnier. Don't forget to tip them. That gets them going back to you quicker.
Yes.
I do want to thank you guys for coming out tonight. I really appreciate it. This is the Cleanish Comedy Show, which I do want to point out that's kind of subjective.
Okay.
Based upon your childhood and your upbringing. Because mine, I think, is cleanish. So we're about to find out. Couple of little disclaimers. I am one of those people who you don't put on speakerphone. And I'm also one of those people you normally give a disclaimer about when you're introducing them to new people.
Amen.
And it's not completely my fault. I was in the military. Any other military people here?
Oh, wow.
No?
Wow, that's amazing.
This is the first time. Well, I was in the Navy. I was a cook in the Navy. And I actually had to have a height waiver to join.
Wow.
Because believe it or not, you have to be 5'2" to be in the Navy. And I am only 4'10" and 3/4 inches.
Wow.
And you can laugh about the 3/4 part. I understand. It wasn't important before, like in high school and stuff. You remember when Pluto was a planet? Well, back then, being a midget was only 4'8".
Yeah.
So I was okay. Flash forward, they made Pluto a dwarf planet, and then they made being a midget 4'10".
Oh, wow.
So now I just realized that my new husband has a midget fantasy. I know, that's kind of bad, but it's true. No, I loved being in the military. I had a really good time. I learned a lot, especially in boot camp. Boot camp showers. That was educational. I mean, I'm boob height. There's 86 girls in my company. That's 172 titties for those of you that are trying to do the math. I can't look up. That's waterboarding. No, I did have a lot of fun in the Navy. Most of my Navy jokes, they're not cleanish. So I will not be able to do them tonight. But they say that the next show, I should be able to go a little more wilder. So this should be incentive for you to come out for the next show and spread the word so there can be a next show.
Yes.
So let's get this spread out, guys. Let's get this Princess Theater packed every single time for comedy, okay?
Yes.
Can I get a woo? Woo! Thank you, guys. After the Navy, I did the mom thing. I was a den leader and all that because I wanted to be really involved. And then a mother found out that I used to be an exotic dancer. And then all of a sudden I was immoral and shouldn't be near little boys.
Wow.
And I was like, I was a stripper, not a priest. Calm down. And besides, the mom who reported me also got busted stealing from the pack.
Oh, wow.
And she stole enough money that she's now a felon. And all I could think is if I would have left with any money, at least I would have earned all mine. After I did the whole mom thing, there was like no failure to launch at all. He moved out right away. And other moms were like, how did you do it? Mine's still in the basement drinking White Claw and playing Call of Duty. I said simple, I beat him when he was little. Not too much, not enough that he like flinches when somebody moves fast and public, but just enough that he knows not to get lippy. And then he grew up, like I said, and moved out. And then sadly, I got a divorce after 20 years and then moved to Casper, Wyoming to live with my dad. And he's the whole reason I do stand-up comedy. We were sitting there watching The Marvelous Miss Maisel. Any of you guys know that show from Prime? Okay, so you understand. My dad loves it because of the fashion. He said that his mom used to dress like that because Jewish from New York, that's us too. Well, not me, him. So he's used to that dress and that whole etiquette, so he loved it for that. And at the end of season 1, he's like, you know, you could do that. I said, do what? He said, well, you're getting divorced and you've always thought you were a funny fucker. You could do comedy. 4 months later, our Delgato gave me my first chance at doing an open mic night, and now he's part of the reason I'm still continuing doing comedy.
Awesome.
And my dad. He is a big motivator for me. And in Casper, I wish I could do this joke here, but I'm gonna do it anyways, even though it doesn't work. How many of you guys do go to Casper for their outdoor ice rink at David Street? Okay, you know the old man who drives the Zamboni? That's my dad. It's the only town I can say, do you know who my dad is? And 98% of the people do. It doesn't get me anything but in trouble. By the time I get home, he already knows. I'm 51 years old and I'm getting snitched at around town. It's just not as fun as you thought it would be.
Oh, wow.
Oh, I'm trying to think of some fun. Oh, we got my dad a husky for a present a couple of months ago. Cutest little puppy in the whole wide world. And I don't think we really understood what we were getting into. Anybody here own a husky? No, y'all love yourself, don't you? I thought those reels were jokes. No, this dog digs trenches in our backyard. And I don't mean like little ditches. I mean like World War II, bunker down, Germans coming. Trenches all just along the fence line, just enough where she can't get under, but to make you worry that she might escape. And then there's the whole chewing and eating of our walls.
Oh, yeah.
That's a new one. And the shit talking.
Oh, yeah.
She snitches me out quick as hell. My dad comes home, he has a part-time job, he does David Street and the ice rink and stuff. The man loves the ice and hockey. And he comes home and she instantly starts snitching me out. And I know she is, because when I come out of my room, she shuts up. And I'm like, go ahead, say it in front of me. And as soon as I leave the room, she just starts snitching all over again. So worse than a younger sister tattling on me consistently. And half the time she's the one who did the bad thing.
Of course.
Like, I didn't chew up Dad's socks or just put trash all over the place. Why are you looking at me? No, she is so sweet, though, and so adorable. And watching her grow up is heartbreaking. It makes me want another husky. And I did hear you should keep pairs. So if I ever win the lotto, there will be signs. I will have 2 of each color. My dad and I compete in something, we have a lot of bonding stuff. We compete in something called Single Action Shooting Society. It's called SAS. Has anybody ever heard of it? Oh, good. For those of you who haven't, basically it's like LARPing for rednecks.
Oh, wow.
Only our guns and ammo are real.
Okay.
We have aliases like strippers. And we just shoot metal targets all day long. And then when the sun sets and the guns are put away, moonshine breaks out.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's a really fun time. If you're not involved in SAS, look at your local club. How are you guys feeling so far?
Good.
You guys ready for the other comics? Not that I'm almost done yet, but I do want to do a quick promo to remind you Jesse Carter's coming up after me.
Oh, wow.
He is from Denver. Our other 2 comics are from Colorado. So they came a long way for this, a lot longer, further away than I did. So make sure you get really loud and obnoxious for them so they know that Wyoming is a good place to have a show at. A lot of people do underestimate the comedy shows in Wyoming. I've noticed that. I meet a lot of comics from out of state coming in, and they call me to come to a show because I'm local. And they're like, well, we wanted a local comic. You had to drive 4 hours. And I'm like, yeah, in Wyoming, that's local. And they always think, oh, is it going to be a good crowd? What's going to happen? Are they going to be loud and rowdy? It's Wyoming. It's conservative. And I'm like, not as conservative as you think.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, we want to keep our firearms, but we still know how to laugh.
Yes, exactly.
We don't ride horses to school. I'm afraid of them. You know, we don't tie up our horses. I have been actually asked that before. Do you guys ride horses around town? Mm-hmm. And I'm like, no. And my dad gets a lot of wild animals through our backyard, but we live in the middle of Casper. But it's Wyoming. This shit happens.
Right.
So when I post the pictures, my friends who live in other states are like, God, you must be so rural. And I'm like, no. No, I'm like 2 blocks from the Y. We got wild turkeys that run the neighborhood. And when I first moved to Casper, it was my first time experiencing wild turkeys. And after like a week and a half, I began to realize they are the gangs of the neighborhood. But they're very respectful for their women. They will stop traffic and attack your vehicle just so their ladies can slow as hell cross that road. And I have literally watched them attack cars because out-of-state people not realizing, and they honk their horn at the turkeys, and I'm like, oh no, that's bad. And then they puff up and start circling the car, and they're all screaming at the vehicle, and then they try to get out of their vehicle to shoo away the turkey, and I'm like, ooh, camera time. I also noticed in our part of town a weird, funny thing. They don't cross a certain road, the antelope don't. It's like half of the side of the town has antelope, and the other half have deer. And this is actually a conversation that happens in my household a lot, because we're weird. And my father and I came up with a conclusion. Now mind you, he's 77 and of sound mind. He decided that the antelope are like, y'all see The Godfather of Harlem? They're like the Godfather of Harlem. And the deer are like the 5 families. And then you've got the turkeys that are like the Cubans coming in and fucking everything all up. I'm like, yeah, you're right, actually. That makes sense. I didn't realize they had a pecking order. Do they get together yearly at some place and meet up and divide up the territory, or is it just like set in stone all at once? And my dad's like, no, I think it was decided before we even got here. And I was like, oh, okay. Good to know. Another funny random conversation. My dad and I do have random weird conversations. Oh, no, wait, I can't do that one. Oh, I can do this one. We were driving through Denver, and as many women who are menopausal in the audience know, we start watching really weird stuff. Like, and you think it's just like murder stuff? No, that's where it begins. Because we watch all those at a certain point, and then we move on and dive into weird areas where we find ourselves wondering why we're watching it. That happened to me once at 2 o'clock in the morning when I couldn't sleep, having hot flashes. I watched a series on HBO about ladyboys. Ladyboys are mostly in the Philippines and Thailand. My dad was stationed in the Philippines. That's where I was born. It's part of the reason I am the way I am. They have formaldehyde in the beer over there. My mom was pregnant and drank that for 9 months, so self-explanation there. But I asked my dad, hey, Dad, I watched this documentary about ladyboys. Did you? Before I could say another word, he said, nope, they were all women. Every one of them, all women. And all I could think is, ooh, thou dost protest too much. I really want to thank you guys. That is about my time. I got my light. So I am getting ready to introduce our next comic feature act, Jesse Carter. He owns a comedy club in Boulder, Colorado. He also tours all over the country, shared the stage with everyone from people like Gallagher.
Oh, wow.
We all know who Gallagher is.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. All the way to Dave Chappelle.
Yeah.
Let's give a big hand for Jesse Carter.